You walk down the aisle, find your row, sit down, and suddenly it hits you. This is not just a summer flight. It is hours in a tight economy seat, with stiff knees, a sore back, crowded aisles, full overhead bins, and almost no room to move once the person in front of you leans back. After 71 bad seat can change the entire trip. But here is what many older travelers are never told. A better seat is not always about luck. And it is not always about paying thousands of dollars for first class. Sometimes a better seat goes to the traveler who stays calm, asks politely, and knows the right moment to speak up. In this video, I'll show you 10 smart upgrade tricks seniors should know before flying this summer. From the small choices you make before check-in to the quiet opportunities that can appear right at the gate. Stay until the end because one simple move on an overbooked flight could turn a painful seat into a much easier journey. And it all starts with how you prepare before you ever reach the airport. Number 10. Dress like you belong in the better seat. Before you ask for an upgrade, before the gate agent checks your ticket, and before you even step onto the plane, one thing is already speaking for you: your appearance. Now, this does not mean you need to wear a suit, expensive clothes, or anything uncomfortable. After 70, comfort still matters. But if you are hoping for a better seat, the way you present yourself can quietly affect how airline staff see you. Think about it. If 2 passengers are equally eligible for an open premium seat, the airline is more likely to choose the person who looks calm, respectful, and ready to fit into that cabin. That means avoiding clothes that look too sloppy for travel. Worn-out flip-flops, torn shirts, pajama-style outfits, or anything that makes you look unprepared. Instead, choose something simple but polished: a clean collared shirt, a neat blouse, comfortable dark pants, a light jacket or shoes that look presentable but are still easy to walk in. For older travelers, this is not about looking wealthy. It is about looking organized, respectful, and easy to help. A gate agent may only have seconds to make a decision. If one better seat opens up, you want your appearance to say, "I will appreciate the help. I will not cause a problem." So before your summer flight, dress for comfort, but also dress with intention. Because sometimes your first upgrade signal happens before you say a single word. Number 9. Check in when the airline is paying attention. One of the biggest mistakes older travelers make is treating check-in like a simple formality. It is not. Check-in is one of the first moments when the airline begins sorting out the flight. Who has shown up, which seats are still open, whether economy is too full, and whether any better seats might be offered before boarding. For seniors over 70, this matters because a better seat may not appear at the gate by magic. Sometimes the opportunity starts when online check-in opens. Most airlines open online check-in about 24 hours before departure. If you check in early, you show the airline that you are ready, organized, and serious about traveling. You may also see paid upgrade offers before other passengers notice them, sometimes much cheaper than buying business class from the beginning. But there is another side to this. On very full summer flights, last-minute check-in at the airport can sometimes place you in the middle of a seating problem the airline needs to solve. If economy is oversold and they need to move passengers who are traveling alone, flexible, polite, and easy to reassign may have a better chance. The safest strategy is this: check-in early online. Then still ask politely at the airport if any upgrade options are available. Not with pressure, not with entitlement. Just calmly say, "If any better seats become available today, I'd be grateful to be considered." That one sentence can do more than most travelers realize. Number 8. Use loyalty status, even if you do not fly often. Many seniors make one simple mistake when booking flights. They buy the ticket, print the confirmation, and never join the airline's frequent flyer program. That may seem harmless, especially if you only fly once or twice a year. But when airlines decide who gets priority for upgrades, better seats, or special offers, loyalty members usually come first. Even basic membership can help the airline recognize you as a returning customer instead of a one-time passenger. And if you are over 70, this matters, because a better seat is not just about comfort. It can mean less strain on your legs, an easier boarding process, and a calmer flight during a busy summer travel season. If you usually fly with the same airline, or even the same airline alliance, keep your miles in one place. Do not scatter every trip across different airlines just to save a few dollars, unless the savings are truly worth it. Over time, loyalty can put you closer to upgrade lists, early boarding seat offers, and discounted premium options. Also, check your travel credit card. Many older travelers have cards with airline perks they never use: priority boarding, free checked bags, lounge access, or upgrade offers inside the airline app. Before your next flight, sign into your airline account and look carefully. You may already have benefits sitting there quietly waiting to make your trip easier. Because sometimes, the best upgrade trick is not asking louder. It is making sure the airline already knows who you are. Number 7. Fly when better seats are more likely to be empty. If you want a better seat, do not only think about what airline you choose. Think about when you fly. Many older travelers book the most convenient date without realizing that some days are much harder for upgrades than others. On Mondays, Fridays, and Sundays, planes are often packed with business travelers, families, and people trying to make the most of a weekend trip. That means premium seats may already be sold, claimed, or reserved for high-status passengers. But on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and sometimes Saturdays, the airport can be a little different. Fewer business travelers, less pressure, more open seats. And when better seats are not completely full, your chances of getting an offer, a discounted upgrade, or a more comfortable seat can quietly improve. This matters even more during summer, when airports can feel overwhelming. If you are over 70, choosing a calmer travel day may mean shorter lines, less rushing, easier boarding, and a better chance of being noticed in a positive way. Also consider early morning flights or red-eye flights. They are not perfect for everyone, but they are often less crowded than peak daytime departures. The key is simple: do not fight the crowd if you do not have to. A smart flight time can do more than save money. It can put you in a better position before you ever ask for anything. Number 6. Choose your economy seat strategically. Here is something many travelers over 70 do not realize. The seat you choose in economy can affect whether you are easy to move later. If you pick a highly desirable seat, like an exit row, a bulkhead, or an extra legroom seat that passengers paid more for, the airline may be less likely to move you unless there is a clear reason. Those seats are already treated as premium inside economy. But if you are in a less desirable seat, especially a middle seat or a seat near the back, the airline may have more flexibility if they need to rearrange passengers. Now, this does not mean you should make yourself miserable on purpose. After 70, comfort matters. If you need an aisle seat, extra legroom, or easier access to the bathroom, choose what protects your body first. But if you are healthy enough to be flexible, remember this: solo travelers are often easier to upgrade than couples or groups. Moving one person is simple. Moving 3 people together is harder. So if you are traveling alone this summer, politely mention at check-in or at the gate that you are flexible if any better seat becomes available. That word, flexible, can matter. Because airlines often need quick solutions, and the passenger who is calm traveling alone and easy to move may become the easiest person to help. Number 5. Volunteer smartly when the flight is overbooked. One of the biggest upgrade opportunities can appear when the airline has a problem: an overbooked flight. During busy summer travel, Airlines may sell more economy seats than they actually have, expecting some passengers not to show up. But when everyone arrives, the gate suddenly needs volunteers to take a later flight. Most travelers hear that announcement and immediately think, "No, I want to get where I'm going." But if your schedule is flexible, this can become a powerful moment. Before you agree, do not rush. Walk to the gate agent calmly and ask what they are offering. Sometimes it may be a travel voucher, sometimes a meal credit, sometimes a hotel. But if you are willing to take a later flight, you may also ask politely, "If I volunteer, would there be any chance of a better seat on the next flight?" That one question matters. You are not demanding first class. You are simply negotiating at a moment when the airline needs help. For travelers over 70, this can be especially useful if the original flight is packed, stressful, or leaving you stuck in a painful seat. A later flight with more space may be worth more than rushing onto a crowded plane. But only volunteer if the delay will not harm your plans, medication schedule connection, or energy. Because the smartest upgrade is not just a better seat, it is a better trip. Number 4. Be the passenger airline staff want to help. Never underestimate how much kindness matters at the airport. Gate agents and flight attendants deal with rushed, tired, frustrated passengers all day, especially during summer travel. Many people arrive angry before anyone has even done anything wrong. They complain about lined seats, delays, overhead bins, and boarding groups. So when you are calm, polite, and easy to speak with, you stand out. And if you are over 70, this can quietly work in your favor. Not because you are asking for special treatment, but because airline staff are more likely to help the passenger who makes their job easier, not harder. Start with simple things. Smile. Say thank you. Keep your request short. Do not interrupt them when they are handling a problem. And when you ask about a better seat, use a calm sentence like, "If anything more comfortable opens up today, I'd really appreciate being considered." That sounds very different from, "You need to upgrade me." The first one invites help. The second one creates resistance. And remember, upgrades do not always happen before boarding. Sometimes a better seat opens up after passengers settle in, or when the crew needs to balance the cabin. If you have already been respectful, patient, and pleasant, you are easier to remember. For older travelers, this is powerful because you do not need to argue your way into a better seat. Number 3. Book directly with the airline. Here is a quiet mistake many travelers make before the trip even begins. They book through the cheapest third-party website they can find, save a small amount of money, and never realize they may have made themselves harder to help later. If you are flying after 70 this summer, booking directly with the airline can matter more than you think. When your ticket is booked through the airline's own website or app, your reservation is usually easier to manage. You can see seat options more clearly. Check. Upgrade offers receive airline notifications and sometimes access discounted premium seats before departure. But when you book through a third-party site, changes can become more complicated. The airline may have less flexibility with your reservation, and if something goes wrong, a delay seat issue schedule change, or overbooked flight, you may have to deal with both the website and the airline. That is not what you want during a crowded summer travel day. For older travelers, simple is better. Book directly when you can. Download the airline app. Check your reservation before the flight. Look for upgrade offers in the app because sometimes a better seat appears for far less than the original first-class price. And a few days before departure, you can call the airline and ask calmly if any paid or discounted upgrade options are available. You may not get one every time, but you give yourself more control. And after 70, control can be just as valuable as comfort. Number 2. Mention special occasions the right way. Many travelers feel embarrassed mentioning a birthday, anniversary, retirement trip, family reunion, or once-in-a-lifetime vacation. But sometimes that small detail can change the way airline staff see your journey. Now let's be clear, you should never expect an upgrade just because you are celebrating something, and you should never invent a story to get special treatment. But if you are flying after 70 this summer for something meaningful, it is perfectly okay to mention it politely. Maybe you are visiting grandchildren. Maybe it is your anniversary. Maybe it is your first trip after a difficult year. Maybe you are finally taking the vacation you waited decades to enjoy. At check-in at the gate, or when boarding, you can simply say, "We're celebrating our anniversary today, so if anything more comfortable becomes available, we'd be very grateful." That is not demanding. That is human. And sometimes airline staff respond to human moments. Maybe it is not a first-class upgrade. Maybe it is an aisle seat, an empty row, a free drink, extra kindness from the crew, or help finding a more comfortable place if the cabin allows it. For older travelers, the goal is not to manipulate anyone. The goal is to let the airline know there is a real person behind the ticket. Number 1. Avoid budget airlines if you want a real upgrade chance. Here is the mistake many travelers make when they are trying to save money. They choose the cheapest ticket they can find, then hope the airline will somehow move them to a better seat later. But if you are flying after 70 this summer, especially on a longer trip, the cheapest ticket may not give you the best chance at comfort. Budget airlines are built differently. Many of them do not have real business class. Some do not have first class at all. And even when they offer better seats, those seats may only mean a little extra legroom, not a true upgrade experience. That is why full-service airlines usually give you more possibilities. They may have premium economy business class, first-class loyalty benefits, upgrade lists airline app offers, and more flexibility when flights are full. This does not mean you should always pay more. Price still matters. But before booking the cheapest fare, ask yourself, what am I really saving if I end up exhausted, uncomfortable, and stuck with no better option? For travelers over 70, comfort is not a luxury detail. It can affect your energy, your mood, your body, and the first day of your trip. So compare carefully. A slightly higher fare on a full-service airline may give you more chances for a better seat, better support, and fewer problems if your plans change. Because sometimes the best upgrade trick is choosing an airline that actually has something to upgrade you into. Flying after 70 this summer does not mean you have to accept the worst seat, the longest walk, or the most uncomfortable trip without trying. A better seat is never guaranteed. But now you know the small choices that can improve your chances. How you dress when you check in, which airline you choose, how flexible you stay, and how politely you ask when the right moment appears. The goal is not to demand special treatment. The goal is to travel smarter, calmer, and with more control. If this video helped you, share it with another senior traveler who has a flight coming up this summer. And for more simple, practical travel tips for older flyers, subscribe to Flying After 60. Before you go, tell me in the comments, have you ever received a flight upgrade, or are you still waiting for your first one?